I played with Spencer this morning while Mom and Dad went to the tax prepare person. And even when they came home, we were playing cars. He just loves those little matchbox kind of cars. Mommy used to have a collection, so he's got hers and his, and it's cars everywhere. It's probably his age, but how he plays with cars is he takes a car and almost throws it across this little tabletop. And then sometimes the cars will talk to each other like, hello, well, how are you? Or it's a good thing he was wearing seatbelts. And I said, Spencer, when I was a little girl, we didn't have seatbelts. We didn't have protective child seats either. We didn't. We were loose in the car. And the back of the car, you had this flat area where if you had a back speaker, that's where they were. But we'd go to some place and be returning after dark, and I got to lay up on that package shelf, and I'd be looking up at the stars on the way home. Can't do that nowadays. Or we'd be standing up, leaning over the seat, or, whatever, crawling all over the place. And there were just 3 of us. I can't imagine people with more children, how wild it must have got in the car. I hear the baby crying over there. I said, Spencer, do you understand what Sebastian says? Yes. I said, what is he saying? Wah, 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 wah. Okay. And when I play with him, if I mention the baby, I always counter it with, he's going to look up to you because you're the big brother and you know how to talk and you know how to walk and he'll get to watch you and learn from you. I try to make him more important than just the baby because he feels displaced. But he's a good boy. He asked for a tissue because his nose was running. And then I held it up to his nose and like this. And he goes to blow and I went, like, and he thought that was so funny. And Daddy came and Mommy came home and Spence and I were playing still. Brian ordered pizza. We all had pizza for lunch, but right before his nap. Then I popped over to, it's not here. I popped down to Wally World and I got fingernail polish and lipstick that matches. Hopefully, I have some that matches the light color, but there's like a mauve, purple, whatever, and I wanted that to match. I don't know, I may have to use more than one color on the nails to see if I can get a right color in there. And I fixed the necklace up. I got a little end, one end is a circle, the other is a little T that fits through the circle. And I took some embroidery thread, that's about as long as I needed. It's longer, okay? So I took embroidery thread and I braided it, and I put the ends on there. So it'll be like in the back under my hair, but matches the flowers on the front. It's blue and light blue, and so if it's seen at all, it'll look like it's supposed to be. So I'm happy with that. I'm nervous when I think about it because it's going to be a couple weeks from now. Ooh, 6 months of waiting. And I'm waiting for the TSA to send me the super duper secret code number that I can pull up my ticket and punch that secret code number in there so I will be designated as pre-check. In other words, they vetted me. They checked me out and make sure I wasn't a terrorist. A terrorist. Oh. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about bodily functions and poopy pants and everything else. I said, do you know there's an old man, older than me, that's running for president and he has poopy pants all the time? And Spencer laughed. He's at the age where poop and fart is funny. So he thought that was so funny that a grown-up poopies their pants. Brian doesn't want me to talk politics at all or sway anybody or anything. I won't. I just think it's all crazy. If there's a God in heaven, please help us. We're going to need it no matter what happens. I mean, guys are both old, you know? Both of them could expire. Then what do? They haven't planned ahead. If I was in the Senate or the House or whatever it is you gotta be, I'd be boning up on all the answers and questions and who's doing what. You know, this nation and that. I'd be boning up on all that stuff so that I would be ready to run. It doesn't seem to be happening on either side. You would think somebody that would be interested would be doing their homework, basically. You would think. I don't know. I don't know. So I watched Biancarosso e Verdone. It's an Italian movie with Carlo Verdone. He plays 3 different parts. Sometimes in your, like every so many years, you have to go to your hometown to put your vote in. These 3 different characters from different places. One lives in Monaco. He's kind of a everyday Shlomo. One's from Milan. He is very uptight. He has a wife that he doesn't appreciate and 2 sons. He's very picky. And then the third one is Mimo. Mimo is like a mama's boy. And his task was to take his nonna, his grandma, to the voting place down in Rome. And he takes her, and she's got all this bag of medicine she has to take, and she's diabetic, and he doesn't know how to give it to her. And he's taking her socks down to put powder on her legs, and she starts laughing. He starts laughing. He's trying to push her stockings up, and he gets right over her knee, and she goes, "Oh!" And I'm not real sure. I think she peed because they're both laughing, and she goes, "Oh, fare or face or something," which means I went. I think she said I went, so it must mean that she peed or something because he's going, "Yeah," with his hands. It's fun. It's a funny movie. Bianco, Rosso e Verdone. It's white, red, and Verdone. The colors of the Italian flag are white, red, and green. So then I started watching I Due Carabinieri. 2 Carabinieri guys entering like a special police school or something. And I decided I can watch that some other time. I'm going to try to figure out how to tan my legs that will show under my skirt. And maybe my arms. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff to do, and it doesn't ever seem like I get it done, but I have to write that new Malcolm the Moose book. Spencer's waiting for it, too. I told Felix I'm writing another one. So I really should do it. I don't know why. In the morning, I'm always really tired. It's like about 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 in the morning. I'm ready to fall asleep. It's not that I don't sleep at night. I go to bed like about 1 in the morning. And I get up once to go to the bathroom. And then I just kind of like, I'm kind of tired. I get up about 6:30. And then a couple weeks, the clocks will move forward here in this country. Now, Arizona, I think, is one of the only places that the time does not change. The rest of us, it changes forward 1 hour. But it'll still be 3 hours earlier on the East Coast than it is here, and 2 hours earlier in the Midwest than it is here. So I go to Georgia the day after the clock changes. So I have to train my brain and set the alarm clock an hour early so that, because the clocks are going to be moved ahead, I don't want to miss the flight. I had to pick up Bear from the Chicago airport once. It took about 4.5 hours to drive up there. And it was the weekend at the time change, and he said, come pick me up at 2 o'clock. So I said, okay. I thought he knew about the time change. It was supposed to be 2 o'clock in his mind, but it was 1 o'clock, and I was an hour late. So that's really weird. Don't put anything really important on those days where the time changes. Take that as a work on yourself day. Yeah. Brian and Ashley have some friends over. I don't know who. Probably friends from work or something. I think it's about 8:15. I think it's time for Spence to go night-night. It's got real quiet over there. Maybe the friends left. I haven't heard the door open and close. Maybe they're just real quiet over there. I don't know. I've been eating Oreos. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know any less either. Tomorrow's Sunday. It said if I tan my legs normally with olive oil, it'll take a week to show any difference. And the best tanning time's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I figure for half an hour, like at 10 or 11, if I fall asleep outside on the chair with my legs tanning, it won't matter because I want them to. For half an hour every day. Or I can try to put self-tanner on, which I'll probably end up looking like a zebra or something. Oh. I ate the rest of the pizza for my supper. So I have chili and tuna burgers and stuff in the fridge. And I'll probably have to make a bunch of waffles or something. The cabinet in the corner is discombobulated. One of the little pegs came out from under the shelf board. I intend on getting the kind of drawers that pull out. That's the only one that doesn't have it. The other cabinet does have it in the kitchen cabinet, and the bathroom cabinet has a pull-out drawers. So they really do come in handy because it's really hard reaching 22 inches back in there, especially if you're tall. How long have I blithered? Too long, I'm sure. 13, wait a minute. Yeah, 13 minutes. No. Anything else, me? Not really. I'm doing some thinking of some new projects to do with Spencer. I'm going to teach him about maps. He's interested in chemical reactions and stuff, which we'll do at another time when he's a little older. Like baking soda and vinegar and stuff. But we're going to learn about maps. Other kids these days don't know anything about maps, but he's going to learn. He's going to learn coordinates. He'll be a heck of a player for Battleship. Besides, orienteering is a fun sport. You have a compass, and you get coordinates. And the coordinates tell you so many feet north, so many feet east, or whatever, and then what is it? Dago Cleo, he does that. Geocaching. And that's a kind of a fun thing to do, too, and you have to know coordinates and maps and stuff. So it's always good to know. You can't rely on GPS all the time, because just like a few days ago, the electricity or the phone service or whatever went down, and if you were trying to find your way around, that's why I carry maps with me. And I made a couple copies of maps. They have the major highways and stuff and the other ones around it, so that if I have to detour, I know where I'm going. Like if I find myself in Macon, Georgia, I know I've gone the wrong way. Oh, I'll have to talk to my brother next weekend. I haven't talked to him. I talked to his wife, my sister-in-law. So I don't know. I feel really bad. I feel like a schlub, you know, asking if I can spend the night down there. I'm sure David wouldn't mind. But Lisa, I don't know, she's kind of a strange duck. She was brought up an only child with older parents, and she acts like an 80-year-old all her life. Very prim, very proper, very quiet. Totally unlike our family. We did Tarzan yells when we were kids, and, you know, we were loud. We were the loud family. One of the loud families. So, you know, when I talk around the Italians, it doesn't bother me because we're all loud. And you can always tell if someone's in a really good discussion or argument, they get louder and louder and louder. Italians, I mean. It's kind of fun and funny. I put a profile on Our Time through Facebook. It's like a dating type service, and I was looking at some pictures of people. I would have to buy into their program 6 months at $14 a month. I don't want to do that. But I have a picture. My picture is with the braids like this. So anyone from around this area sees me wandering around with these braids, they'll know who I am. They'll say, "Oh, don't you have a profile?" Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where the cat is. I think he wants to go to bed. It's almost 8:30. So I think I will head off to bed. I guess I'll have to make some to-do lists so that I can actually get something done. I bought him some more cans of cat food today with extra gravy. He likes the stuff with extra gravy. You can't buy all of the 24 or 30 pack with exactly what you want in it. Some of it might be, but some of it isn't. So I bought 6 cans at 77 cents a can. It's about $5, something like that. Yeah. And or $5.40 or something. So I don't know. I really have some stuff to do. I have a new song. Well, it's not new. It's 102 years old. It's called A Mouthful of Kisses. Came out in 1921. And I'm going to learn to play it and sing it sometime for a vlog. I like it. It's a nice, simple song. I've got a mouthful of kisses for you. It'll be nice. I'm trying to figure out what song that Spencer and I can sing to Sebastian. I told him that we have to think of one that he can sing to his brother. He's interested in that, so. And I'm sorry I waffled on and went another direction around and around again. But that's me. That's why I can read Kurt Vonnegut, because he skips all over the place in his books. That's how my brain works. Well, that's a deep hole in the ground. Take care of yourselves, okay? I love you guys, and I'm glad you're there. Upward and onward.